Hey everybody, Larry, Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups, and YouTube at Fort Worth Memories. I'm going to see if we can connect. Scott's going to be here tomorrow, but it shows that I'm on YouTube. Now the main problem is going to be, does it connect to Facebook or to the other platforms? So, yeah, it connected up. So, I'm going to style the video. Like I say, Scott will be here tomorrow, and he's gonna fine-tune everything. That has to happen several times a year, but he was just here about a month or so ago. But we're carrying so many platforms now that it's amazing we can even stay online. Okay, so I think I styled the video. Yeah. Now I'm going to tell everybody good morning. And we're going to share it to the internet. Memories, live videos, and neighborhood watch group. Okay. Now I'll get the camera turned around. One of those cameras quits working halfway through. Okay, there we go. It's going to be real windy today, but the cold weather's gone. We'll have rain, but there ain't going to be no more freezing stuff. Thank goodness. George is in, Monty's in, Brittany's in, and I'm in. Rangers won last night, and they won 3-1. They play today at 7:05. Friday they play, the Dodgers are in town. They play Friday night 7:05, Saturday 3:05, and Sunday 1:35. Hold on, get me something. What is this? Tommy. Says he was told Maryland's in. The NCAA women's gymnastics. Well, it's not the reason you can't find it at Will Rogers. It's not at Will Rogers. It's at Dickies Arena. The 2025 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships. And they've been going on all week, I think. It's at Dickies Arena. How much? I don't have a clue how much the tickets are. If it's at Dickies Arena, it's not cheap. Larry's in. Do they have parking? Well, sir, yeah, they've got parking. It's not free. The free days are over. Aaron's in. Good morning. No, so the the 2025 NCAA Women's Championship Gymnastics is at Dickies Arena. I think it's over Saturday. Oh, good. Brittany got good news yesterday. No breast cancer. Thumbs up. All of y'all's prayers work. Oh, reading the railhead on Montgomery. I didn't post it last night, but I posted it this morning, I think. And I'll be posting it. Good news, Brittany. Congratulations. What do they have at Will Rogers now? That's a good question. I think they still have some smaller concerts. They were doing that quite a bit. But I don't know. I'll research it and find out. I know it's... Okay, here's the straight skinny. I interviewed, who did I interview? Michael Crane. And we talked about the convention center and Will Rogers and Dickies. The convention center, you know, they schedule these concerts and events and stuff years in advance. I believe he told me that this year, about halfway through the year, will be the end of any scheduled stuff at the convention center. And then they're going to get hot and heavy on the construction. The saucer part is going to be done away with. There's not going to be any more concerts there, from what I've been told. They're going to have lots of conventions there. So they will, I'm sure, utilize that space with all the seating and stuff. But they're completely revamping the Tarrant County Convention Center. When was it opened? 1968. And so when it opened in 1968, it was so much better acoustics than Will Rogers. Will Rogers was a much smaller venue, and the acoustics, I think they've replaced them a couple of times, but it really was never really real good. Of course, we were all kids. Who cares? I mean, it was great. Everybody enjoyed all of that because we didn't know any better. If you didn't know about the internet, we didn't miss it because we didn't know about it. Does that make sense? So, as time goes by, technology gets better. These phones nowadays will do a lot more than the original. I call them the brick phones, that Motorola phone with the one ear. I guarantee you they really were like a brick. Because I was downtown then, and I would set that phone on top of my truck or somewhere. That thing had hit the ground. Heck, I even ran over it one time. Still worked like a charm. But there was no media. It was just a phone. So, to answer, I'll ask somebody. But I think Will Rogers now is still owned by the city, so I don't even know what department, who runs Will Rogers, who schedules appointments, who does all of that. That's what we need to ask. So I think the way they're trying to make it, or the way it's going to be, it's not trying to. The convention center is going to be for conventions. Fort Worth is missing the boat on conventions. Now, this is from people that know. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable enough about it. but it makes sense to me what they say, is we don't have enough hotel space downtown, which they're working on that. I think the Omni is going to try to add 300 or 400 rooms and get to a 1,000. There's a couple of more boutique hotels down there. They're going to put a hotel, I think, where the Montgomery Street antique place is. So they're working on that. The money's already been appropriated for the redoing of the convention center, and that's what it's going to be, is a actual convention center. So we're going to have the convention center downtown. It's going to be for conventions. And we're still, according to Michael Crane, if I remember correctly, we're still in competition with San Antonio, Memphis, 2 or 3 other cities equivalent to our size, 800,000-900,000, 1 million people. So we are still in competition with them on conventions. We don't get the big conventions because, number one, we didn't have enough hotel space. So they're working on that. I hope that they're going to have hotels that are not like the Drover, $1,000 a night. I still can't get over how they do that, but they do it, and it's full. And I'm not knocking the Drover, but when they first came in with all of this stuff, I was kind of asked to help get across to my followers, Fort Worth Memories members, that they're not trying to get rid of the history, the heritage of the stockyards. They're not. But they also didn't say rooms were going to be $1,000 a night. So anyway, there's other hotels. I guess that's because you're then in walking distance of all of the great stuff that goes on in the stockyards. So I'm not knocking it. They get $1,000 a night. That's great. I don't have $1,000 a night to spend for it. One of my sons actually stayed there for 2 nights, and I just said, you can drive 2 miles from there and stay at the best Days Inn or whatever for $100. I mean, I just don't understand it. But anyway, that's it. So the long-term plan, which I think by talking to Maddie and Betsy and Michael Crane and Carlos, all of our leaders, is the convention center in the downtown area is going to be for conventions. And so they're going to try to add stuff that will draw people into Fort Worth for conventions. We need to have Bud Kennedy on. He'll tell you exactly. Will Rogers, I don't know what. I think originally it was for smaller events, concerts, maybe wrestling. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're going to have something in Will Rogers. They won't have anything that will compete against Dickies, because Dickies will not be happy about that deal. So Dickies is the main go-to for concerts, all kind of big events. They're going to Dickies. So therefore, Montgomery Street and the people in that area have got to realize that you're going to have to get out of the way of future business for Fort Worth. I love the Antique Mall. They're going to have to locate it somewhere else. You have to make room for futuristic stuff. For us to keep growing, and I know a lot of y'all don't want us to keep growing, but we're going to keep growing. They're predicting we'll be the 10th largest city. We're already the 11th in the United States within 2 or 3 years. So they have to have things that accommodate, that fit in the scenery with whatever the area is trying to draw people to. So Dickies Arena is our large place for concerts and stuff of that nature. So naturally, they're going to put hotels, restaurants, stuff that caters to that area. I don't know where the antique mall goes. I know a bunch of y'all, including myself, love it. People, that's their livelihood. I understand that. I do think they will continue to come, people will continue to go to that. Maybe one of our developers, maybe Kyle or somebody, can figure out a place to put the antique mall. It's wanted, it's valued, and we want it. So I hope some of this makes sense. I need to either get Maddie or Jay Chapa, somebody, because they are 24/7 working on things to make improvements for Fort Worth for 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. For so long, Fort Worth, especially with our roads, by the time we get one finished, it's already out of date. I.e. that Northeast Mall area. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You sit out there on 820 and it comes to a halt. And I ain't talking about for a minute or two because of a wreck. It's a daily situation. I guess. I don't go that way. Believe me. A few years ago, you completely came to a stop every day out there between certain time frames. So we're growing at a fast pace. We're trying to keep up with construction and infrastructure and all of that. And we're kind of missing the ball on some of that stuff. Infrastructure, our roads are terrible. I don't mind. I'll tell Manny Ramirez, I'll tell Judge O'Hare, Matty Parker. I don't care. The roads are terrible, people. I mean, they're not just terrible, they're horrible. I used to tell my family, you'll know when we leave Texas and get into Louisiana because the roads are so horrible over there. Well, I'm not real sure their roads aren't better than ours now. So it's a task. It's a problem to keep up with all of that, to have the money to do all of that. When Manny became County Commissioner number 4, and we had him on and he explained, because I was saying, how long is it going to be before that bridge, everything's built on 199? Because I live that way. And he explained to me how we have the money for this, we have the money for that. So what Manny was telling me, there was a project on Boat Club Road that they're moving forward with. But so there's several moving parts. That project, the architects or the engineers for whoever was doing that road deal, whether it be TxDOT or whatever, they didn't have anybody that could get on it. We had the money available for it at the time. So Manny said, well, that's good. Let's work together. Let us get our engineers on it, and we'll see if we can't speed the process up. That works. We need people thinking outside the box. Because I, for one, was a witness. They started widening 199 about 12 or 13 years ago, and they ended up letting that equipment rot out up there, just rust out. This time they've gotten on it. They're working on it day and night. So we just have to be patient as citizens. I know it's a pain in the butt. There is no more, hey honey, I'm going to the drugstore, I'll be back in 30 minutes. Them days are over. I don't care if it's a block away. So you have to be patient. It is going to be a better community as things start getting fixed. Are we taking on too many projects at once? I don't think so. We've got very capable people to oversee, and I think the money is becoming available. We, the taxpayers, are helping that. The government, the federal government, the state government. So all we can do is kind of sit back and wait for things. I will find out about Will Rogers, who's in charge of that. It might be Visit Fort Worth or somebody. I don't know. But who sells Fort Worth? Visit Fort Worth. And they do a dang good job of it. Back in the day, our number one salesman was Mr. Amon Giles Carter Sr. He'd get on a plane and go to wherever to talk to the CEOs and hierarchies of major companies. There's never been anybody as involved as Amon of bringing companies or events to Fort Worth. I don't leave the town. I don't leave Tarrant County anymore, George. So I could ask my kids where I have locations. I don't go to. I occasionally go to Parker County, very rarely. I'm pretty much wake up at 3, leave the house by 4:30 here, leave here at 2. If I have to stop it and talk to people somewhere, I visit a lot of retirement centers, and I call them old folks home. I'm an old folks. And then I go home. I'm in bed by 7 and asleep by 7:15. So my daily routine, that's Monday through Friday. The only thing that changes on Saturdays is I get home a little quicker because we have a lunch club meeting at 1 and we talk for about an hour or so, and I'm home then before 3. So I'm just like a machine. I do the same stuff every day. As you get older, that stuff kind of happens that way. Ginger's in. So the roads, yeah, they're a mess. And I can understand that whoever's navigating all of these projects are thinking in the back of their mind, hey, we need to get this hotel over here built so we can start getting more people coming in like we need more. So the people will just have to put up with the roads for a while. They'll bitch, moan, and complain, but hey, we hear it every day. So, and that's just the facts of life. We've got great first responders. We've got a great fire department, police department, sheriff's department. I think we have good people running the cities. I say cities, there's 42 cities inside Tarrant County. The Fort Worth ISD thing is up in the air with me. I do not understand why our kids can't do any better. I've used the same scenario for 6 or 7 months. Last year in the spring, I had a sophomore from Pascal High School come in, and he wanted to know if he could wash cars in the summer. Sure. I've got a pad of applications that I got over here at Staples. It's just a one page, not front and back, just one page. And all it is what's your name, where do you live, what's your social security number, and a place for you in school, you work record. This kid couldn't figure it out. He had his name down, and I said, is there a problem? I thought maybe his parents said, hey, don't give your information out to anybody. And so I, in fact, have scratched through the social security number on the application, and if they're hired, then we get that information, and it's not on the thing on the table here that anybody can see. So he said, well, I don't know my address. I mean, are you kidding me? You do not know your address where you live? I said, have y'all just moved? Nope. That's the house that when they brought me home from the hospital. So he's a sophomore. He's got to be, 15, 16 years old. I just flabbergasted me. So he did not know his social security number. And I understand, because it's happened to me, and now it does happen to me. People say, well, what's your phone number? My wife doesn't know what my phone number is. I found that hard to believe because she just pushes the deal that says Larry or L or Crazy Man or something. So I buy that. I can tell you my driver's license number from the day I got my driver's license, which was about 50, 60 years ago. We were just geared to learn important stuff, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know what the answer is to Fort Worth ISD. I'm not sure anybody that I've talked to ever knows the answer. I've talked to teachers, I've talked to people, trustees, I've talked to superintendents. None of them seem to be able to put their finger on, Larry, this is the reason we're having this problem. I'll tell you the reason I think we have. And there's not a lot that can be done about it. Minority families or lower platform, lower income families. Sometimes, I don't know the number, there's only one parent. The parents divorced. So there's one parent, both parents love their kids, I'm not saying that. So I think a lot of those situations are that one parent has to work two jobs. Well, how are you going to kind of oversee, rough ride, keep on the kids? Hey, you got to do your homework before you go out and play on the... Well, they don't even go outside anymore. They play video games. You can't play video games till you get your homework done. So then I found out from teachers, we don't send homework home anymore. We do it all at school. Okay, so cut that part out. So why is it that kids in the same area that go to these so-called charter schools do so much better than the kids that do Fort Worth ISD or inner city schooling? I don't know the answer. I wished I did. There's plenty of nice hotels out of Western Center Boulevard that are only 3 or 4 miles. Sure, I understand that, Maryland. They're trying to make everything convenient. I understand exactly what you're talking about. That's my feelings exactly. When over the years, when people have come to visit my family, hey, we want to go to the stockyards, and almost immediately I get a call from either one of my family members or that person. Well, that hotel is $1,000. My immediate deal, let me send you a link for all the hotels that are within 3 miles of that. And there's none of them, I mean, you can stay in their best room for $120 or $30. So these hotel chains, they're trying to capture that audience. They're now walking distance of Billy Bob's, of all of the nice stuff over there. So they say, well, hey, guess what? You're going to pay for it. So I understand that. But in today's world of technology, people just say, oh, well, that's okay, we'll pay it. Maybe that hotel will have a lot of history in it or whatever. So everybody, the name of the game is money. Follow the money. Cleveland. What about the GoFundMe? I don't even want to talk about that. I don't care. It's not my business what the family of that young man does with the money they get on GoFundMe. Okay? Don't post it on the main group. If you do, it'll come down, and there's a good chance you'll come down. It's a very volatile situation. I have nothing to do with that. I can tell you this, by complaining and getting into arguments on the internet, you can't, that's not going to change anything. Everybody's entitled to a defense. That is not the first family that has asked for assistance in a defense. No, so I don't even talk about it. Put it on the political page. You get plenty of action over there. Botanical Gardens. Okay. I wish more people would visit Botanical Gardens. They do have some type of activities that are coming up. I'll be posting them. Concerts in the park, I was told that doesn't happen anymore, but there's something coming up. If you just have to have it for free, you can go to the Fort Worth Public Library and get a pass that's good for a week. Let's just get somebody from Botanic Gardens to come on. I'm writing all of this stuff down. Now I have more time to do interviews in the daytime because we now have Rosie back. In fact, I got to get off here in a minute and get that opened up. She'll be here shortly. So I will find out about Botanic Gardens and Will Rogers. We're going to find out exactly what they do over there. Northside Coliseum, they have a rodeo out there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, I guess. Let's get somebody from Visit Fort Worth to come on and enlighten us. Deborah Robertson is a good person to contact. She knows what's happening. Let's get Bud Kennedy back on and get Bud to ask. Okay, so let's do our sponsors. No, we're not talking about the GoFundMe. In fact, if you ask again, you might not be able to ask anymore. There's no reason for us to get into an argument about it. Everybody's got feelings. Okay, let me get the thingy working here. Winstead Paint and Body, White Settlement Road, 1 block west of Roberts Cutoff. Scott is our technical advisor, keeps all of these different platforms running. He can build you a website, do anything with technology that you need done, and he's cheaper than most. Lance Sanders is Alpha Design and Build. They're very creative. They do residential and commercial. They'll remodel a building or they'll build you a building. Whatever you want done. Fort Worth Florist, Jeanette and her team. All you got to do is call 817-244-2345 and do everything online. You don't even have to leave the confines of your house. Dickie Carr is Richard Carr's nephew. His company is called Grateful for Your Trees. They do everything to do with trees imaginable. Cut them down, trim them, grind the stumps down, plus all this other stuff they do. What's holding you up is a telephone call. You got to call them. G2 Garage, Chris and his team over there have helped out lots of our members. They've given them good reviews. They're in the White Settlement area. Feltz Family Auto Care, Mike Feltz and his family, and a group of technicians. They're in the Burleson area. They do a great job. Stroud Auto Supply, Danny Stroud and his wife. I visited with them a few Saturdays ago. You very rarely see a independent auto supply company going up against AutoZone and O'Reilly's and all of that. I was buying parts from Stroud Auto Supply, same location, 60 years ago. I didn't know 60 years later I would have met that gentleman's son. Schwartz and Hanson. Connie is in. Good morning. Wendy is in. Swartz and Hanson are our architectural sponsors, very active in the bicycle giveaway and very active as being a sponsor. Rex Benson's Rex's Bar and Grill. That place is like the Taj Mahal. If nothing else, just go in there and look at it. It's unbelievable. Rex Benson outdid himself. He's done a tremendous job. Tri-State Dent, door dings, hail damage, any of that stuff, Jason and his crew will come to you and fix you up. Casey Crawl, Medicare, Medicaid. They are experts at it. If you try to figure it out on your own, you'll make yourself sick. That's another government deal that one page will tell you one thing, the next page will tell you exactly opposite. Raines Plumbing, family-owned business. They've really helped a lot of our members out and gotten great reviews. That's where we're eating Saturday is Charlie Guerin's Railhead Barbecue on Montgomery Street. Charlie is our state representative. He's also a member or a board member of my 501c3, Larry's Kids. His brother Pete Guerin runs the Sid Richardson Foundation. They also made a huge contribution to Larry's Kids. So Charlie's just a great guy. We're going to eat there Saturday, day after tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Come join us. Optimus Club of Fort Worth is part of the umbrella Optimus International worldwide. Jeff Norman was on here several Saturdays ago, explained to us all the great stuff that they do for youth, both boys and girls. So get involved with these organizations. Old South Pancake House. Also on University next to Rex's Bar and Grill. The one on University is open 24/7. The one in Burleson is closes at 9 or 10 at night. Jenny Stewart, do yourselves a favor. Pick up the phone. Call State Farm, Jenny's company. And I bet you can save money. What does it cost you? A few minutes and a phone call. Cross Electric. Brandon Cross, why is it not going the right way? Brandon Cross, that's his company, his family's business. They were nominated DFW's favorites. Manny Ramirez came on the other day and said what a great job they do. Anything electrical, Cross Electric. K-Ranch Roofing. Jorge Hernandez is our roofing sponsor. They'll come check your roof if you think you might have roof damage. There's no way you can get up there and just figure it out yourself. Call K-Ranch Roofing. You'll get Bree. Bree is the office manager, and she will set you up a time that's good for both you and them. And they'll send a specialist out there to tell you if you got roof damage. Fort Worth Lumber Company. Been with me for many, many, many years. Both active in sponsorship and the bicycle giveaway. Steve Coburn, Coburn's Catering. They've been in business since 1946. I've been doing business with the Coburns since 1964. Great folks. Dickie Carr, Sand and Gravel. That's Pat and Richard Carr. Honored to be able to call them my friends. Always first to the plate to help out somebody in need. They were the first people to write a check to Larry's Kids for $5,000. Thank you guys. Dana Lang. Dana sells Cowtown and does a damn good job of it too. She's going to be part of our Saturday roundtable discussions that we're going to get started here in just a few weeks. A-Bird AC and Heating. That's Dub Peacock's company. Anything to do with heat or air, he's the man. And yes, he's one of the Peacock boys from Poly. Eric Walsh. He is a realtor by... Why is that not working right? Hold on. He is a realtor. That's his profession. He's a board member, board of directors member of Larry's Kids. Very, very active in the bicycle giveaway. Thumbs up, Eric. You're doing a great job. Yellowstone, Yellow Snake. It's real easy to say Yellowstone. Yellow Snake Horses, Brazos River Ranch. If you get on Interstate 20 and you go down on the way to Millsap, drive about an hour, and she has about 200 acres on the Brazos. You do not have to be an experienced horseback rider. You can ride horses with her for 2 hours for $75. We're going to have a picnic lunch down there fairly soon, within the next couple of months. And no, I'm not going to get up on a horse, but some of y'all can. Bob's in, Carolyn's in, Aaron, y'all stay safe. Treat your neighbors like you want to be treated. Don't get caught up in all this divisive stuff about the GoFundMe or whatever. Number one, you're not going to be able to change anything. You have the right to say whatever. I don't care. Just as long as you don't do it on memories. You can go on the political page and talk about it. I mean, those people over there, they're just short of coming to blows. I got to go get set up. Thank God we have Rosie back. I will post a prayer request. Lord has answered our prayers with Brittany. You hang in there, girl. If we can just get her back from New Jersey down to Texas, and she was just here recently, that'll be another feat. But I understand. Family's up there. Hubby works up there. I don't see how a Texas girl can survive New Jersey. That's why you're always at home.